Joachim Kivior is a good player. There's a reason that there's always rumors about him transfer wise. We Arsenal fans complain all the time about our lack of sales, but the bad players don't have rumors about them, and Joachim Kivior always has rumors about him, and for good reason. He is a pretty young player still, and is a very good player that has had the misfortune of being behind a very healthy player for his entire Arsenal career.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show, the Arsenal edition. You know who the fuck I am. It's irrelevant. But Mitch is there. What's going on, Mitch?
We're the best team in the world. Let's go.
Yo, and Coach is here. What's going on, Coach?
Shoo.
Listen, man, we are here right after Arsenal 3, Real Madrid 0. And we're all dressed the way we're dressed this evening because we robbed Real Madrid on their way out of London. Actually, we didn't
Oh
rob
no
them at
no
all.
no 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 no.
We just jumped
Let's
them,
be
really.
yeah. Let's be respectful. Like we beat the crap out of them.
That was a proper jumping. Like I am. You know what? You know what? Let me not go on a soliloquy. I have nothing clever to say that you guys can't top. So I'm gonna be a good host and throw it to you, motherfuckers. Coach, Saka started. I'm not gonna do the
Yeah
full lineup.
yeah.
We were wondering if Saka was going to start or if it was going to be used off the bench against a
Yeah,
tired defense. Arteta went with the former option, which seems very Arteta to me. But
yeah.
what did you make of it? What did you expect? What did you think when it actually happened?
The game was there. That was it. The game was there for us. Arteta knew it. Saka knew it. I'm pretty sure Ancelotti knew it as well. And all due respect, I think this is Alaba's first start since his ACL. Let me just say this right now. Love Ancelotti. I think he is the goat, right? But what he subjected Alaba to tonight should probably result in his arrest. FBI, if you're watching, that man cannot leave London. There's no way. There's no way you put a 23-year-old Bukayo Saka up against an ACL recover someone that's recovering from an ACL. How dare you?
Bro,
Elder abuse. It's truly elder abuse.
Oh
indeed.
man.
I seen a white strapping over his knee
Mm,
during his first run against Saka, and I was like, it's
yeah.
on tonight. It is on tonight. Like you showed up old and infirm,
Hmm.
infirm against Bukayo. Oh my God, the disrespect.
I
The
don't even
disrespect.
care. I don't even care if Bukayo Saka's got a big fuck off scar on his leg. That don't matter. Like that don't matter at all. Yeah. But I've got some more thoughts on Saka, but yeah, I was pleased.
No, we'll
I
get
was
into it. We'll
yeah,
get into it.
I was pleased that he started, and I think it just sends a message that look, we believe. Like it's not, it wasn't to me. I didn't feel like it started. And Mitch, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't feel like he was starting him out of desperation. It was starting him out of well, we're here now. Um, we've literally this is our biggest game in the Emirates history by far. I think the fans deserve to see their best players play. It's that simple, you know.
Yeah, I think as soon as Saka scored against Fulham, he was going to be starting Real Madrid,
Mm.
unless he got hurt against Everton this weekend. Like he was going to be starting this game as soon as he was back and scoring goals within 15 minutes of him being back from injury. He was going to be starting this game. There's nothing that was going to stop Bukayo Saka from
Yeah.
starting this game as soon as he was healthy again. It was nothing was going to stop him.
Yeah, I just had a sense that maybe strategically you want to use him at full power against a weak defense.
Mm.
I thought it was an option. You know, it's
Old
something.
man David Alaba is a weak defense.
I suppose so. I suppose so, as we've discussed. The other big talking point about the lineup before the game began was Jakob Kivior. A lot of folks were imagining a lot of different lineups that did not include him,
Mm-hmm.
despite the fact that I think that for the most part he sort of earned his place against Everton last weekend.
100%.
Mitch, what did you feel? Did you want him to start? And how did you feel when you saw him in the lineup? Because let's face it, a lot of people feel very uniquely about Jakob Kivior. He's our fourth choice center back, and there's a reason for that. We all understand it, but I think it's what made sense, right?
Yeah, I think Arteta in a game like this was not going to be cute about it. He was not going to be like, Yeah, let me start Ben White at center back for the first time in like a year
Mm.
against Real Madrid. It was just not going to happen. I think when you've got players in your squad like Jakub Kivior, you have to show them like trust in a game like this, especially when they like in those last two games he did not play bad.
No.
But obviously it's a huge test for him. You're going you know you see that front three horrifying with Bellingham behind him. Like it's scary ass front three, and it's like, well, we're starting Jakub Kivior. Jakub Kivior is a good player. There's a reason that there's always rumors about him transfer wise. We Arsenal fans complain all the time about our lack of sales, but like the bad players don't have rumors about them, and Jakub Kivior always has rumors about him, and for good reason. He is a pretty young player still, and is a very good player that has had the misfortune of being behind a very very healthy player for his entire Arsenal career.
Very well said, Coach.
Yeah. I just want to go back to our transfer pod a couple of weeks ago, and I was the only one in the keeping Kiwi camp. I just want to remind you guys that you were wrong and you're filthy, filthy, filthy liars. But no, but I'm
Hold on,
joking.
Coach.
I wasn't even there.
Before you do a drive before you do a drive by and just skedaddle off, my reason was that he's a good player that should be playing more minutes, and if he's not happy with the minutes he's getting at Arsenal, it probably suits both parties if we just sell him. That was my reasoning.
Yeah, but you don't love Arsenal though, because if you love Arsenal, you want to stockpile good players. That's what you want to do,
Man,
correct?
fuck you, fuck you. Don't do that.
Hey,
I don't
hey,
love what. I
hey,
don't love what.
guy.
I will beat you with this mic, bro. But carry on about Kid.
Yeah. So one of the main things I love about Kiwior is I don't know if you guys can remember back 22-23 season where Holding kept on playing right centre back when Saliba went down because he prioritizes strong defenders playing on their strong side, basically centre backs especially, right? Especially when he doesn't, when he can help it, right? And we looked quite shaky, and then Kiwior comes in, plays the same position, and we steady the ship for the rest of the season, and we look good while he plays. I think the last 4 or 5 games. And that just showed me the measure of the man. He was new, nobody liked him or trusted him or anything like that. And he just plugged away. Right. Last season didn't play much, but when he was called upon, he was decent. The Liverpool game this season, again, a slight mistake that had the maximum punishment of Salah going through on goal. It can happen, kind of thing. Since then, I feel like his reputation has tanked so much, and it's really unfair to him. This is a guy that has logged some of the fastest speeds at Coney. Number one, he's very quick. He just obviously doesn't get to use it as much because he doesn't play. Then on top of that as well, his passing is so flipping underrated that I really wish I really wish people watch the game as closely as they claim they think they do. Because if they did, it wouldn't be a shock to see some of the things that he does. Basically, um, he's a fantastic passer. Literally one of the best passers in our team. Seriously, I'd put him in like the top 6 or 7 from the back. Seriously, his left foot is a wand. It reminds me a lot of Pascal Sigan. Go on.
Yeah, you made the right analogy
Yeah,
there, but I was gonna say I do wonder though if like someone like Saliba, like I've seen him make some pretty impressive passes over time at other clubs at Arsenal, and you wonder why that doesn't happen more often. And I don't think it's for a lack of ability. I think it's just the game model. But if Kivior is on the field, I feel as if he has the license to do that because he does it with such confidence that you can tell that he's been given the instruction that this is your strength or this is one of your strengths. If we're gonna put you out there, you need to use it, type thing.
yeah. So,
Because
here's the thing: when you look at the way Saliba normally passes off the dribble, right? And he basically Arteta wants players to he wants Saliba to commit players. Whereas with Kiwior gets the ball out of his feet, he looks up and he's sending a bomb. Like you see what I'm saying, and that's the way he wants. He wants the build up to vary. He doesn't want Saliba to pass it out of his feet straight away. It becomes a lot easier to stop. That's my rationale for it, at least. But I say all that to say that Kiwior, when he's defending, at least it's his face. He doesn't look like a confident defender, but his body language and everything else, to me, he looks like he's Eastern European. Eastern European centre back guys, like let's have a bit of respect for Eastern European centre back. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a good defender. He's obviously not a first choice, but like I said before, how many third choice or fourth choice centre backs can you think of in the league that are better than Kiwior? You know?
Done thinking, can't think of any. All right.
You don't want to try to think about fourth string center backs right now. Don't make me do
I got time.
that.
I got time for that. In any event, Arsenal did start well, but Real Madrid had the first shot of the game. It was a tame shot from distance by Mbappe, went straight to Raya. Shortly after that, in the 7th minute, Arsenal had a corner. Actually, a series of corners. Well, is two a series, guys? I think so. That'll suffice.
Sure.
Yeah, Arsenal had a series of corners, and on the second one, a certain somebody that will become mentioned later headed the ball, but unfortunately, Saliba blocked the ball off the line. Mitch, did you see that as a good omen or one of those like, ah, shit, like bad luck type moments? Like, how were you feeling in the moment?
Um, I was just saying it as positive ways to start the game. Like I was just like, hey, we're pressing them high. We're like we're playing. We're getting opportunities early, and like making ourselves known, which is what I want to see early. If Gabby was here, she would be like, "This is when I knew we were going to lose 4-0," and that's
Sorry,
what she
Mitch, I
would
got to
say.
stop you there. I got to defend Sis here. Sorry,
No, I can't.
she would have said
Wait,
2-0. She would have said 2-0, not 4-0.
okay, okay. I was gonna say because I'm not hearing any lies here. Even Gabby would admit that Mitch is right. That's her whole brand. Oh my goodness. 5 minutes later, some good work down the left by Martinelli. I think he runs Valverde, crosses the ball in. Rice gets a foot to it. It deflects out. I think someone sets it up for number 5. He takes a shot that he should probably do better with. Courtois saves it. Coach, we're gonna do this quickly for obvious reasons. Like this is a moment of joyous celebration for us, but we gotta keep it brief. Number 5 had what I can only describe as a counter pressing masterclass today. I don't know if you saw what I saw. Um,
I saw everything you saw and more.
okay,
And let's let's
please,
let's keep this very brief.
right.
Pre-Christmas, Five was our best midfielder. Post-Christmas, he hasn't been. However, I think today he put in probably the most impressive midfield performance of his Arsenal career. Um, Anything and everything you want from your deepest midfielder, he gave today. Outside of, I'd say, more expensive switches of the play, but the game didn't call for that. You've got Declan Rice for that. Um, that's all I will say on that. Being positive with him is obviously for obvious reasons. You have to kind of limit it, but that's all I'll say. Everybody was fantastic, and yeah, that's it.
Mitch, on that same play that coach just talked about, Rice got on the end of Martinelli's cross and it hit Asensio's arm. Now this is the Champions League. I feel like I've seen those given before, and there's a reason why they even checked it at all. Did you think they were going to give that?
On like first look, it didn't look like a handball, and then on second look, it did, and it especially looked like a UEFA handball.
Right.
In the Premier League, that's not even getting looked at. But in the Champions League, I've seen that given. I think we got one of those penalties earlier in the Champions League.
Marino,
Um,
it was Marino
yeah, so
against
like
Inter.
I kind of thought that they were going to give that, and they didn't. And you know what? I don't fucking care. We won 3-0. Fuck you, Real Madrid.
Coach, you had a lot of kind words, justifiably kind words to say about Jakob Kivior a few minutes ago. But there was a period of the game after we had our initial chances where he played some sloppy balls that almost put us in trouble. Can you defend your favorite Eastern European? I don't know why you just don't call him Polish. I don't get it. He's Polish.
Um, so no one's perfect, number one, and again, I have to stress he's third or fourth choice, and on top of that as well, when you're third or fourth choice and you're playing against sharks, basically, because Mbappe is a great white shark. So is Rodrigo, and so is Vinny. Stuff like that can happen. Obviously, it's not good because you're still a top level player, so you got to get the basics right. But the good thing is that he's doing that around Saliba and Timber, so it's not the end of the world. And the chances that came from it, they took them in the most, I want to say, inconvenient way. So our defenders did their job to put them off. But yeah, it can happen, And on another day, boy, Real Madrid love that. Real Madrid don't want to work for their goals because of how many times teams just sit in against them. They don't work for their goals, so they would love something like that. And I'm glad that we got away with it. But yeah, I mean that's I think once you got them out of your system, it was fine. It was absolutely fine. But yeah, I was a bit annoyed, but at the same time, it's the occasion. It can happen. Like it's literally, it's like guys, I can't stress you. This is the biggest game of the Emirates era by such a country mile. It's bigger than the semi-final against United in '09, and that was flipping huge. The sun was still out when we played them in an evening game. Like it was incredible that evening. So yeah, this tops it by so far, so far.
That's what's up. A couple minutes after that, Real Madrid had what I would consider their best chance of the game when Vinny and Timber were dueling on the sideline. Bellingham gets involved, robs Timber, feeds it in behind our defense to Mbappe. Mbappe is about to do the Henry finish. He actually does it, doesn't do it quite as well, and David Raya makes what I consider a pretty good stop. Mitch, we were all thinking the same thing, right?
There's nothing scarier than Real Madrid in transition with space. It's fucking horrifying. That's just something that Mbappe puts away like 9 times out of 10, and hell of a save by David Raya to make sure that it was one of those 10.
Well said. I especially like the shot of Mbappe's cleats during that play because I didn't know he was wearing the Air Max Nike joints. You don't see that a lot in football, so I had to acknowledge it, even though I think they're ugly. Air Maxes suck.
I won't lie, I'm very partial to 95s. I do. I've got like three pairs. I think they're great, but not on football boots. It's
Yeah,
stupid.
not
It's
not
absolutely
it's
stupid.
not it's not to be done. It's not like some things don't belong together. Well, like let me not get us canceled. Are we still doing canceling? Is that still a thing in this current America? No. Yeah.
Well, who's the president, guys?
I don't know, Joe
Yeah,
Biden.
that's proof that canceling's not a thing.
In the 44th minute, Courtois made a lovely double save first from a Rice header from a timber cross, and on the rebound, Gabby Martinelli hit it first time I think, and Courtois was up on his feet again fairly quickly. Coach, you often like to talk about the role of goalies in these big European games, and we were a little. I think we all kind of got the sense that maybe Courtois wasn't fully fit, because he's been out for a while. He just came back in. Um, Lunin didn't even play the last game because he wasn't fit either. So we kind of thought there might be a moment, there might be an opportunity. Uh, what did you make of his overall performance? And we're going to talk more about him. But those specific saves and the role of a big goalkeeper in Europe. Go.
So the only reason why Liverpool went to extra time in the last round was because of Allison, and that's the bottom line. They went to they got all the way to penalties because of Allison, and the penalties is a toss up. Obviously, it's 50-50. If your goalkeeper is able to do that for you, then you're probably some way to finding some success. Um, Now, in regards to Courtois, I'm just gonna flat out say I think he's the best goalkeeper in Champions League history. I don't think it's even remotely close, to be honest. Like, yeah, Oliver Kahn is great. I get it. Casillas again, another Real Madrid legend, is great.
It's got
I've
to
seen
be.
some shit
It's
from.
got to
I've
be
seen,
Neuer.
Yeah, I
no,
was gonna say Neuer.
no,
Neuer.
Neuer's up there. Neuer's probably second, but some of the shit that I've seen Courtois do, like I'm going back. Let's go back to I think 17-18 season. I think it was a Bayern Munich. It was at Bayern Munich. I want to say. And I've seen some shit from Courtois, like,
Yeah, we seen it too, but we don't remember it. It's okay.
and it, and I think at this late stage of his career, for him to pull, Arsenal had 11 shots on target today, guys. Like
Crazy.
we had 11 shots on target today. Like,
From 12 shots in total.
do you know what I'm saying? So
That's
Courtois
efficiency.
essentially saved his team from a PSV sort of result. Like that's what a good goalkeeper can do for you. Like imagine we only created 3 chances today. Real Madrid might have, well, 3 good chances today. Real Madrid might have got away with a 0-0. You see what I'm saying? Like the value of a keeper being able to just keep pulling out save after save after save after save and giving that confidence to your team, and then on top of that being like 6'7", mate, I can't even put into words. And Courtois is unfucking real, man.
To flip that, this is the same reason why I think that Arsenal is as better set up to win the Champions League than we are to win the Premier League. Like we are a defensive first team, and we are built to withstand this kind of competition. We have a great goalkeeper. I don't know if he's able to stand on his head in the way Courtois does every single game in the Champions League, but we have the guys that can just power through these knockout games, and I think that they have like mentally evolved from last year to where it's just like a different beast. Where like I don't think we're gonna lose in the Champions League because I just we're just that good. And yeah, this might blow up in my face next round. Who fucking knows? But I'm riding this high.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Coach, you briefly mentioned PSV during your last answer. And it just occurred to me that every time, and this is typically in the Champions League, but I feel like every time a team that sort of considers themselves Arsenal's equal, or that thinks the game is there for the taking, every time they show up to the Emirates, or we go to theirs, like PSV or Sporting, it's never good for them. I mean, Real Madrid is as quality as it gets, and even though it was a 3-0 scoreline, that could have been, thanks to Courtois, was only 3-0. But is it safe to say that really the only things that can stop Arsenal are one, the PGMOL, and two, deep blocks?
Yeah,
And
do you know what?
Arsenal.
Do you know? Do you know what? Yeah, I think this is an interesting question because of the context of the win and who we played and essentially who we played against. So Arsenal are much better set up against teams that back themselves, regardless. Even if the big team or small team, if you back yourself against Arsenal, good luck. Basically, is what is that again. But Ancelotti respects the hell out of us. Um, the way Real Madrid set up today, it was definitely a 4-4-2 out of possession, and Bellingham was helpful. Bellingham and Modric took it in turns to help Alaba, but there was no helping them. There was no helping them. And the key thing that I noticed was the way Martinelli and Saka both pinned their fullbacks, and we were able to get like outnumber Real Madrid in midfield time and time again, was very, very, very similar to how we dominated Liverpool in the first half when we played them at Emirates this season. And I feel as if teams are setting up that way against us when they back themselves, but they still haven't been able to find the answer because they're relying on their own individual quality. And all Arsenal will do is just starve them of the ball until we can get the ball to our 1v1 demons in Saka and Martinelli. And boy, them boys had a game today. But I feel like it's a sign of respect that yeah, he backs his team, but no, let's actually give Arsenal the respect they deserve. And yeah, just pleased with it, man. But yeah, it's good to see a pattern of top teams adopting a similar approach against us and it meaning fuck all basically.
Yeah, Don Carlo is nothing if not a realist. You don't get to become the goat of your profession by being rigid in your thoughts. So he did humble himself, but we humbled them even more, as is the saying of the parlance of the times. Mitch, I actually had to drop off after 30 minutes of this game because I had something important to do that involves paying rent. But but up to that point, I was looking at the Arsenal players. I was thinking we're having a fantastic game. But the main standout for me was actually Miles Lewis Skelly. I thought he was our best player for the first 30 minutes, potentially the whole first half. I'm not sure if that's true or not because I haven't seen the last 15 minutes, but am I tripping?
No,
Okay.
no, and this is kind of a trend. I feel like he always just really stands out when you watch games. I think it's a little bit of the role he plays. I felt like Zinchenko's also like stood out when he like first broke into the team playing an inverted left back. It's a unique role. You're in a lot of it, but I've said this almost every single time I've been on the podcast since Miles broke out and's been like consistent starter. But he just does not play like an 18-year-old. An 18-year-old should be fucking shitting themselves playing Real Madrid starting against Real Madrid in the Champions League. You should not be this confident. You should not. But like, this is who he is. This is who Miles Lewis Kelly is. He's an unfucking believable player. My
Keep
only
going,
worry with
keep
him
going. Facts,
is
facts,
not
facts.
him. It's not has nothing to do with him. It's how I worry that he will be painted. He's gotten two red cards this year. One of them was deserved. One of them absolutely was not. And it still has painted a weird picture. Like the commentators during this game were like, he's got a bit of a hot streak to him. He's got a bit of a temper. He might get sent off. And it's like, I don't like that this is already being put on him in his very, very short career because it's completely unwarranted. If you take away the Wolves red card, this doesn't isn't being talked about, and they should have taken away the Wolves red card because it shouldn't have even happened to begin with. So the fact that this is kind of getting painted on him worries me, especially for his longevity as a defender. Of like all of a sudden that like those kinds of things sink in. Like Granit Xhaka started getting labeled as a dirty player, and then
Yeah,
it
all right,
compounds and
Mitch.
compounds, and then referees start refereeing him in that way, and I just don't want to see that.
Mitch. Let's cut this whole sob story shit out. This is a joyous occasion. We'll do that on a different pod.
Of
MLS was
course, yes.
fantastic. That's what I want us to focus on. It was
I'm just mad at the
fantastic,
commentator. That's
and
all.
and all this. I want to speak generally to this whole thing about his confidence, and I'm just like, listen, man, like some people are just like that, man. Like this whole for an 18-year-old shit, like we need to dead that noise. Like honestly, growing up, I knew a lot of 18-year-olds that were that confident. Maybe they weren't footballers that were playing against Real Madrid, but that's just a lot of the people I know were like that. Like that's just the way some of us are, okay? Like stop giving them a it's not a shocking thing, okay? He's there for a reason. He's been talented his whole life. He knows it. Like there's no difference between the way he carries himself and the way Ethan carries himself. And that's an even
Mhm.
younger player. He's just a more quiet character. But there's clearly a confidence about him. Like you don't get to where these guys get to with the talent they have at a club like Arsenal and not be confident. Like I think people are just like impressed by it because there's like this outward extra stuff with like the celebrations and whatnot. But end of the day, like this is regular. It's like I know kids like this. I know kids like this, and we should lift them up and stop being haters like the commentators were. All right, halftime. Coach, how are you feeling? Were you looking for any changes, tactical or otherwise?
Um, no, I want basically what I wanted to happen really is I wanted us to actually do something which we did, but a bit later in half. I wanted us to get the ball forward quicker, not wait for them to settle and try to make sure that we can counter press them. I wanted us to be a bit more risky, but that was my only real complaint. But yeah, other than that, I was pleased. I was fine, honestly.
I'm not saying I'm not trying to cause any beef here, but you know, obviously things happened that were very memorable in this game. I know that Saka got fouled for both of the free kicks that got scored, and I know that he got doubled throughout the game. But how was his actual performance overall, Mitch? Like, did he look spry and healthy and all that? Because I literally cannot really remember.
I can tell you declaratively, Bukayo Saka has not looked like he was out for 3 months. Every single time I've got like that we've watched him since he's been back, he has looked like Bukayo Saka, which just brings a smile to my face because I don't know if there's a soccer player in the world that I love watching more than Bukayo Saka.
I think that's a good point, Mitch, about him just not looking like he's been out. I'll go back to Saturday and think I genuinely think he was just managing these minutes. He was just like, all right, let me just make sure nothing's stupid. I'll be fine for Tuesday. I'll be ready for Tuesday as well, kind of thing. Fulham was a little bit more exciting. Obviously, he got the goal, but today, I'll be frank, um, and I don't want to sound like I'm trying to be edgy here. I think overall, I know we're talking about Saka, but I think overall Arsenal, despite us spanking them, we could have played better. Number one, and I'll try to elaborate about that later. But secondly, I think Saka in the first half was trying to gear up for a big second half as well, and he provided those moments because yeah, the ball got to him in the first half against Alaba, and he fried him. He French fried Modric, and he French fried and Bellingham as well. But we know Saka. We know what Saka's like when he's flying. He wants the ball even more because he's like, I got these guys on toast. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. But he wasn't demanding it as much, and I feel as if he knew that okay, I still need my body to be able to get used to everything again, kind of thing. But second half, I'm gonna go. And you saw how he won the fouls. Like he was ready to absorb the hits. He was ready to carry it to commit people, kind of thing. So yeah, he's not back to his best just yet, but I genuinely think yeah, Saka is building up to a ridiculously strong finish to the season. And today was just the start of it. Like he's managing his minutes again against Real Madrid. Like that's the measure of the player, guys. Come on, man.
Inshallah, inshallah. I'm so down for. Sorry, Mitch, if you get arrested after this, that's on you. Hanging out with fake Muslims and shit. That's your problem. In any event, that's again. That honestly, you know what? I can't even describe this as the best moment of the game, but maybe it was because we haven't scored a direct free kick in so long. But after one of those fouls on Saka, Rice gets the ball in a central location, perfect distance for a free kick. If I'm not trying to cast aspersions here, but from what I understand, they showed the sideline. I saw Nicolas Rivera doing this shit. I don't know what that meant, but it felt like I was trying to get them to cross it some kind of way again. Coach, what was he doing?
So he was telling him to cross it, and Odegaard was telling him to cross it as well.
Okay,
Um,
but Saka
and
didn't tell him to do that, did he? Now,
Saka
Saka said to
said,
him
"If you
verbatim,
see it, go for it."
yeah, he said if you feel it, just go for it. There's a lot to unpack there, guys. I don't know if tonight is the night to do
quite a
it.
bit, but I don't know that we want to do like dime store psychology today. I'll just say some people in this world move like condoms, while some people in this world just want to bust nuts. So and that is exactly what Declan Rice did all over Thibaut Courtois. Oh my God, it was crazy. Yo, like I'm not gonna get into the technical aspects of this goal, Mitch, but even Mbappe was impressed, man. There was a shot of him looking at the replay and was like, like, bro, like how ecstatic were you after that one, Mitch?
My the things that I would do to have like taken a sick day today and like gone and watched this in an Arsenal bar and not been like in the office watching this game because like
The job.
right before the free kick happened, someone like came by my desk and like paused the game and then I like unpaused it and like I just looked at my phone and I saw like Bellingham looking all sad and I'm like, what the fuck? And I went back and watched the free kick and was like, oh my fucking god! Holy shit! So yeah, I wish I wasn't watching this in the office today because I wish I could do fucking laps. Like I want, I still am like energized from like the energy I was like. You're just like holding it in when you're just like in an office and you watch a goal that good. It's unbelievable.
Bro, I was dealing with the same struggle. Like, and I did do the laps. I walked out of my office and walked around all the cubicles, like,
At least you have an office. At least you're important enough to have an office.
You'll get there, Mitch. You'll get there soon. You will get there soon. Um, Goodness gracious, Coach. Why have we waited so long? I think all of us on this podcast, Gabby included, have all suggested that Declan Rice take these free kicks. You don't strike corners that well and not be able to take free kicks as well. But we've allowed a breast milk merchant to waste thousands. Okay, not thousands, but why do you think it took so long for us to get there? Is this like an awkward, I don't want to be an usurper type thing going on there? Like I'm trying to respect the hierarchy. What do you think is going on with that?
I think the latter is probably true. Arteta is. I love Arteta to bits, but I definitely feel like Arteta does have control over certain things he probably shouldn't. I feel like players should be able to just dictate what they do with dead ball situations. Yeah.
I don't think he has control over that. I
Well,
think they've always had the ability to sort of make an executive decision. They're the ones playing, right?
no, but I mean, when Arteta has confirmed himself that he doesn't like quick transitions because of X, Y, Z,
Yeah, but
it's
we're not talking about that.
no, but I'm saying, but it's not
No,
too far fetched.
no, coach. We need to be specific about what we're talking about.
Yeah,
If
I
we're
know.
saying he's controlling stuff, if he's controlling like transitions, that's fine. Like, but do you think he controls who takes the free kicks though?
No, not who takes the free kicks. Just what essentially what we do with them. Like okay, put it this: Marino's goal against Liverpool, again, great free kick from Declan Rice. Free kicks from there make sense. I've seen plenty of times this season alone where the ball has been central, well, near enough central, and we still opted to cross it. And I'm just like, surely, like the players must be, you must be thinking, can we just have a pop kind of thing? Now, what I think is happened now, to credit to Arteta is recognizing more opportunities and more ways for us to get an advantage kind of thing. I don't feel like he ever looked at, because of how low the probability of free kicks are scoring, I don't feel like he ever really valued them as much, but I feel like he's seen Declan Rice enough to be like, do you know what? Okay, boys, essentially you make the decision. Odegaard is telling him to do it. Thingy's telling him to do it. Joe was telling him to do it, and he's just decided to do it himself, kind of thing. I feel like that's probably Arteta loosening the reins a little bit on the players there. And even if you're looking at open play as well, look at the positions. For example, now look at the positions that Martinelli is taking up again now. Something has clearly changed in the last month or so. I'm not going to give Arteta all of the credit, but I definitely feel like he's definitely made some decisions here, and the players are probably playing with a bit more freedom. I want to say.
Okay. Well, speaking of the players playing with a bit more freedom, Mitch, we can cite a bunch of examples. And the third goal, which we're not going to talk about just yet, actually came from the left side. But is it fair to say we fixed the left side, or the left side just works great against teams that aren't, playing a deep block? Like, which is it to you after the last couple games? Because it's looking good, Brev.
I think Martinelli's just back. I think he's just fully playing to his level again. Like we're seeing the Martinelli of a couple of years ago, like the last month or so. Like it's been really really good from him. He's looked so sharp, so dangerous, and I 100% that he think he's been very much helped by Miles Lewis Skelly playing at left back. Declan Rice has looked more and more comfortable as a left eight as time has gone on, to where yeah, I think the dynamics have shifted, but I think the biggest thing is just Martinelli's playing better. Martinelli's playing the way that we know he can, and he's upped his level, which is what we've. I mean, that's truly what's been being asked. Like, we obviously want to improve the entire dynamics of the left side, but uh, I think another thing that helps is helping the right side. Like, what now that we have Odegaard and Saka back, teams are. You mentioned Saka's getting double covered. Ethan Wanyeri was great. They weren't doing that to him. They were able to more evenly balance the defense. And now there's a little bit more space on the left because our best players are back. And I just think that's just going to help the dynamics all across the field.
Okay, very well said, Mitch. Very well said. In between the free kick goals, Bellingham had a header at Raya from a corner. Martinelli cooked Valverde some more, which I quite enjoyed that matchup because I thought Valverde would maybe have the upper hand because of his physicality. He did not. He did not at all.
Well, here's sorry to cut you. Here's an interesting thing about that. I think Carlo probably saw Martinelli's form in the last three games. I thought I'm not gonna put Vasquez through that, you know.
No.
And I respect it, kind of thing. But the only issue is you take Valverde out of that midfield, and full credit to him, Camavinga was, to be honest, Camavinga was fantastic tonight. I have to be clear on that. But you take Valverde out of the midfield, and there's a whole rhino in Declan Rice just running around your midfield, and nobody there to be able to match him physically. I mean, what's geriatric Modric going to do about all of that? You know, like Bellingham is more interested in helping out his attack. And don't get me wrong, he gets back, but you're not gonna stop Declan Rice for 90 minutes and he's running. It's impossible. You know.
Yeah, I hear you. But this was a period where we had them under the cosh, as you people say over there. Like there was a moment where I believe this again happened from the left side. MLS fed Martinelli for a shot. Courtois saved it. Marino hit the rebound. Alaba cleared it off the line. Marino hit it again. Courtois punches over the bar. We played from the resulting corner. Courtois punches. Rice gets the ball, puts it on goal. Bellingham clears it off the line. At this point, Mitch, you're clearly thinking that if we get that second, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I was like messaging a coworker like we should be up 3-0 right now. Courtois is standing on his head. Like he's absolutely putting on a fucking performance and we should be crushing them. But it's still 1-0. So like it was frustrating, but it was like, man, we're playing very, very well. That goal is coming. And it sure was.
It sure was because in the 69th minute, nice, another foul on Saka led to a free kick from a similar area, but it's like a different angle, more from the left side than the right side this time, I think. And Declan Rice stepped up again because he was clearly feeling it. And coach, would I be out of bounds if I say that is probably the best free kick we're ever going to see at the Emirates?
Um. Yeah, I mean, the only other one I think that comes to mind, there's a Van Persie one, I believe, against Derby.
It's not as good because it's fucking Derby. Don't
Yeah,
mention
and I
Derby.
was gonna say, that the Fabregas one when he came off the bench against Villa as well.
It's
That was
Villa.
especially,
Nobody
yeah.
cares, bro. What
How
are we
I'm
talking
talking,
about?
I'm just talking about how you feel in the moment.
God, I wish I
But
was in London. I would beat the shit out of you, bro.
but this Declan Rice one, what makes it more special is the fact that he goes to the goalkeeper side. And you know what? You know what the best thing about it is I don't know what striker or what forward used to do it, but he used to point to where they're shooting their penalty and hit it there anyway.
Oh, that was he was from Guinea.
Yeah,
Fuck. TT something was it? No. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
but
Carry on.
but the fact that Declan Rice went that same side again just lets me know he's got massive balls and that he's just like, you know what? I cost £100 million. I'm a future England and Arsenal captain. This is my moment kind of thing. And you know, I know you hate when I use basketball analogies, but the Clay Thompson hot hands. That's what I felt like. I felt like Declan Rice had with the free kicks tonight. I felt like he was just feeling it every time he struck, even just dead balls. Every time he struck dead balls today, it was just on the money every single time. Like it was just perfect. Basically, every time he got the ball from a dead ball, he hit it crisply every single time. And yeah, I think now he's announced that. Yeah, keep fouling up in the middle of the pitch, guys, because he's gonna score. He's gonna score a lot more of those, man.
Dean, to answer your question, yes, it's the best free kick the Emirates will ever see.
Thank you,
One
because
hundred percent.
this motherfucker just be fucking rambling as much. You don't even answer the goddamn questions, man. Talking about Derby and Aston Villa. Fuck up, bro. I'm glad you muted yourself. Yeah,
In in
stay
in
muted,
in
motherfucker.
in match week 13 in 2006, we scored one from 40 yards out.
Nerd.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I compartmentalize all of this shit, man. Unfortunately, it has to be honest.
Actually,
Just
So,
answer the goddamn
but
question,
then,
bro.
but then I
Like,
answer it.
like just aesthetically, from an aesthetic standpoint,
Hundred
like
percent.
going to the goalkeeper's side, you
Yeah,
already won.
yeah,
Post-it stamp, you
yeah.
won again. Like the pace of that ball, you won a third time, bro. This is the best free kick we're ever going to see in that stadium. I guarantee you, nothing is stopping it. Nothing.
and then also the celebration, running over, jumping on like the board, and like kind of doing the Bellingham, not
Yeah.
really, but just like kind of doing the arms out. It's just like, fuck yes, Declan Rice. Let's give West Ham 100 more million. They deserve it. Thank you, West Ham.
I think that's how you know Serie A and Italians in general are just more passionate people than the English people, because they do that celebration literally every weekend. Literally, in Serie A, you will see that every weekend. Atalanta. Now, if you score more than one goal in the game, that shit's gonna happen. Like Orsolini has done that like 20 times this season, you know. But the English, they save it for the big nights. The big nights. Saka went out for Trossard in the 74th minute. So a couple minutes after we went up 2-0. I believe he went off after yet another foul, and the physio helped him off. Are we concerned? Or am
Arteta said it's not serious.
I okay?
Yeah, he
What
said he
is
said
it?
him and Timber are not serious, to be honest. So yeah.
Okay, just saying they're just not serious people. They're not serious footballers.
Well, no, no. Well, obviously, I'm sure Real Madrid thought they weren't serious, and they showed them a hell of a time today. So.
They seriously fucked them up. Okay, good. It's good because he looked a little gimpy. I was a little worried because I watched the highlights on Spanish commentary, and Duolingo hasn't treated me well. In the 75th, a minute after Saka went out, yet more good work down the left, and MLS ends up feeding Marino. As a matter of fact, this move started from the back, and it involved almost the whole team. I remember Marino dropping deep at one point to spray it out wide. Then I think Rice fed it to Trossard, who crossed it to the well, not crossed it, played it back to the edge of the box to MLS, who then, man, like, you know what? A goal was scored, and it was beautiful. But what I really want to talk about, Coach, the movement, Marino's movement on the goal. What was that? Unmute yourself. Unhand me.
So here's the thing. I've said it before on this podcast. The coach, I believe, was Johan Cruyff, and he said, "The closer you are to goal, the further you are from scoring." And this isn't just some profound shit. It's literally just facts. Like when you run into the crowded area expecting the ball, there's like three defenders waiting to intercept before you. When you drop off into the space, you're easier to find. Yeah, you got to shoot through bodies or whatever, but you've got a clear shot at least. And that's just standard sort of forward play. You make a run for the defender and then you make a run for yourself. And that was pretty much it. The finish itself, was befitting of this of the occasion because that's the only way Courtois was getting beat today. Every single goal today was pretty much side netting. Like so, yeah. I think yeah, it was just fantastic, man. And that's his fourth goal against Real Madrid now, I think, as well. So yeah, shout out to him.
That's hilarious. Johnny Depp in Blow. Uh, how much? How like? It's weird. Maybe I'm just betraying my own ignorance, but I just and I'm not. I'm not questioning code. I just feel like I can't remember the last time I saw a striker score by running away from the goal. Like, cause yes, you make one run for the defender and you make another run to to find the space. But I just can't remember the last time I saw a player move backwards and get fed the way I'm like. It was just a very unique goal to me. I want to say.
You're just not used to seeing the greatest striker of all time, Mikel Marino. He
And
didn't realize that he's the greatest striker of all time until he was 28. But here we are, and we all of a sudden have the greatest striker of all time. You can keep your Sescos, you can keep your Isaks. I'm gonna stick right here with Mikel
coach,
Marino.
coach is about to unmute himself and curse you out.
I totally agree. I actually totally
Let's
agree.
go. Let's go.
He's saving money, baby. He's saving money on academy grads and repurposed midfielders.
Get me
Right.
another center back. Come
Uh,
on, let's do it.
uh, Mitch, this is definitely yours. We got to see Kieran Tierney, and I don't know if you. Well, I know for a fact that you're probably even happier about it than I was. So I'll let you eulogize a little bit on that one.
Oh, I just always love seeing KT. It's always like a little treat at the end of a game of just like we're seeing the game out. KT, go have a left wing shift. And you just see him like running at Thibaut Courtois in like the 89th minute while we're up 3-0. It's awesome. It's the best. It's like it's a little taste of dessert after a beautiful, beautiful game. And I really want him to just get one last Arsenal goal. Because like we know it like it's very rare when you like know a player's leaving where it's like, yeah, he's signed a pre-contract with Celtic. We know he's leaving. So it's just like I want one more angry Kieran Tierney celebration, scoring just like some random goal at the end of a game. It doesn't have to matter. We could be up 5-0. I just want one
How
last
about a
Kieran
Champions
Tierney
League
goal.
final or winning a Champions League final? How does that sound to you?
I will be floating for the rest of my goddamn life.
Man, I gotta say, it really speaks to the character of the player that we all know he's leaving. The club obviously knows he's leaving, and the manager should trust him enough to play him ahead of other options. Because for the role he's fulfilling there, I'm not gonna say just anybody could do it, but a lot of guys could come in and close out a game for 10 minutes or whatever. And Kieran Tierney is the one getting those minutes, and I really appreciate the player. I wish he was robust enough and enough of the profile that the manager wanted to make it to us to the promised land. But who knows? Maybe we're on the way to the promised land because winning 3-0 against the great Satan is not nothing. We got to go over there and see it out. But this is not nothing. So, coach, how do we approach the game at the Bernabeu?
Um, I think we essentially try our best to play a similar game that we did today. Don't invite Real Madrid onto you. Just don't do that. Just that's the worst thing you can do because I think the earlier Real Madrid score, it's not about us getting nervous. It's just about how much they grow because I know we're taking the piss, but it's still Real Madrid, man. These guys are unreal, absolutely unreal. So I think we just try and play them. Just try and play them like it's 0-0, basically. Obviously, keep it tight like we did today, whatever. No mistakes, and make it a football match. Because if we make it a football match, then I'm confident that we can get some goals there as well. To be honest. And they'll get desperate. It gets to 30-ish minutes. It gets to 30 minutes. It's still 0-0 kind of thing. And then they're thinking we need to score before half time. Gaps start appearing and stuff like that. We can easily get something on the counter. That's how I feel about it. So yeah, definitely try and keep it the same. Keep it the same, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Mitch, did I detect disagreement there?
Yeah, yeah. Here's my lineup for the second leg. David Raya, Neto, Tommy Setford, your starting boy. Miles Lewis Skelly, Saliba. Fuck it, put Gabriel on. He's gonna start anyway. Kivior, Ben White, Timber, Kieran Tierney, you're starting, and Zinchenko's playing up top, and we're gonna win 7-0. Put them all in the box, and we're cooking.
Oh man, you sound like you work at the Pentagon, Mitch. Don't be a coward. Okay? Be better than your people. That's why we
Everyone join my Signal group chat.
do not join any single group chat. But yeah, I think coach's approach probably makes sense. You don't want to invite a team with that much firepower onto you. They will score. It's really that simple. But I think we can definitely afford to be a little less aggressive. I mean, naturally they'll have more of the ball at their own stadium, and they're going to have to
Mhm.
push the game since they're down 3-0. And if we can pick them off on the break, if we score the first goal in that game away, I'm pretty confident we can see it out. Mitch, did you detect any frustration from Real Madrid? I kind of felt like towards the end things got a little spicy.
Um, yeah, I mean, like, when's the last time they got smoked in the Champions League like this? It's Real Madrid in the Champions League. Did you see the fucking devil magic they had to do to get through last round? That's just the normal shit that they do. They don't lose 3-0 away in the Champions League, and we fully smoked them. So, yeah, rightfully so, they were frustrated. They should be. Keep that frustration. Continue to be frustrated. Don't do anything about it.
Coach, do you have any suspicion that they may be? I mean, obviously they learned a lesson tonight, but do you think that lesson was that, oh shit, these motherfuckers might be better than us?
No, if you play for Real Madrid, you don't believe anybody's better than you. Like Vasquez doesn't believe anyone's better than him, and fucking everyone's better than him. Do you know what I'm saying? But the point is, I don't. They're not feeling inferior. All they're thinking is, you know, we've won loads before, kind of thing. It might not be our season. Um, but let's give it a go. I mean, Bellingham, and Ancelotti were talking about, anything can happen. There's a first time for everything, and they have to talk like that. But I genuinely do feel like they believe that, which is cool.
It's a
They
front.
believe that, but
It's membership.
they've got Mbappe. We've got Mika Marino.
You've got
So
KVR. Fuck them.
yeah, so
Let's go.
yes, so they can have all the belief in the world that they want, but they've never in their lives, never ever ever in their lives met a European deep lock from Mikel Arteta. They're not ready.
They are not ready. All right, folks. I think we've done more than enough damage here. This wasn't even really joyous enough. I don't feel like I've yelled enough, so I don't feel like we did enough happiness. But I do love that we took the time to coordinate our outfits. That is true brotherhood and friendship. I love you
Yep.
guys, and I love the Arsenal. You know what to tell the people.
Love you all.
Peace.
Peace.
Hey folks, this is Deen from the Shirtless Plantain Show. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and follow us on all our socials. You can see them right beneath our recordings in every video. Thanks again, and see you on the next one.